Hey, so this is Alex from Underground Performance. Thanks for following our build progress on the Daza swap Golf. It's going very well at the moment. Obviously you don't get to see me on this side of the camera that often. I am a real human being, I'm not a bot or AI. So all of what you're seeing is very real. My camera skills are very real. The audio quality is very real, but this is a real working space, a real shop. We have customers coming in and out every day. We're tuning cars every day, fitting parts every day. But being able to squeeze in a fun project like this has been a real joy, and the team have really enjoyed it, and the customers have enjoyed it, and we're getting a lot of comments about the videos that we're doing. So thanks everyone for joining in. I will show you more of the shop and some other projects as we go, but right now let's see what's going on with the Golf. So what we're doing here is we're relocating the washer bottle. So this is the Audi washer bottle. Conveniently, there was a hole up through the top of the arch area there. So the funnel sits on the top here, just like the RS3, but the 7.5R doesn't actually run front washer jets. So once we remove that, the motor and all the extra gear, it actually cleared just fine. We do need to relocate the feed because it will pump it from this side, not the other side, but that's actually gone really nicely into the car, so that's a bit of a win there, another piece of the puzzle. So I had a really smart idea of using a pre-facelift RS3 exhaust for the silver tips, and it looks a bit shit. They stick out a country mile. So that's not going to work, but look, it might be enough just to start the car and run it. Yeah, we need a plan B on that one because it looks gash. Well, update to the wiring here. We've had some nice new fresh cloth tape all over that one. The second one we're leaving exposed, just in case we need to make any changes. The fuse box is in. Looking like any other Volkswagen Audi fuse box, which is good. We're still yet to go through some of the other codes that we have in there. Obviously all the modules need to talk nicely, and that might take a little bit of coding work. Another update is with the shifter linkage here. So we're still maintaining the DQ381 7.5R shifter cable. We swapped the mounting point over, so that fit quite nicely. It did end up being a bit short, so we've just made a temporary little extension here to link the two, and that seems to actually work quite nicely. So I don't know how permanent that's going to be, but it's another hurdle that we don't really have to jump over. So here's the X-Force downpipe kit for RS3 that we've been kindly given by X-Force Australia. It's a great value downpipe. They're not overly expensive, I think about 1,200 bucks or so. Yeah, we got it next day after a quick phone call. It comes with both a catted and a decat section. We're going to be running the catted section, keep it legal and keep the noise levels down. There's a mid pipe that splits into two, so that would go up with your stock catback. Great for an RS3, TTRS, RSQ3, anything of that generation. So DNWA, Daza engine, or even the 8Y RS3, the new stuff. Yeah, so it's a stainless item, open at the top here, 202 sensors, good flexi down there, mounting point at the back, and then goes off to a 3-inch at that section there, and then off to the rest of your exhaust. Okay, here we have our downpipe solution. Conveniently fit that on before we put the prop shaft on and everything else. Yep, so the plan for this is I don't want it deafening. So yeah, look, it's got a sport exhaust on the back, but it's also got 2 rear mufflers, a resonator, a hot dog, and a cat. So if that doesn't shut it up, I don't know what will. All right guys, we've gone for it. We've ripped off the RS3 8Y brake kit off off the TT, and we're test fitting the new speed wheels on here as well. Now these are 19/9. It's a pretty wide wheel setup. We are a little bit concerned we're going to have some protrusion, but look, we can roll it around the shop. We'll attempt to go around the block with it. I suspect we might do some wheels that are slightly different for fitment and for clearance, but yeah, we'll wait and see. We're just trying things out at the moment.
A few moments later.
Couple of things. When we lifted the engine, we noticed that it was actually leaking around the sump here, which is quite common on these. So remove the sump, reseal it. We then got on the RS3 subframe, dog bone mount. We've put a torque insert in there for now, just to limit engine movement. And yeah, everything's bolting up really, really nicely. Here's the team working on the wiring. So we've got two issues outstanding at the moment. One is the throttle pedal is not working. So we had to strip our loom back and we realized there was a pin not making contact there. So the boys are just re-establishing that pin and testing that. So hopefully that will be sorted soon. The other is that we haven't rigged up the RS3 fuel pump yet. So we're going to have to transpose that across. There is some wiring differences for the RS3 fuel pump controller. So part of our pedal testing, we took the RS3 pedal out and swapped it over. We weren't sure if there was any wiring differences, but yeah, that wasn't working either, so obviously it's at the source. So here's the finished article. We have our intercooler, our crush bar, our carrier, and they're all now connected. We had a plate fabricated that tucks under behind the crush bar. It's actually 5mm thick steel. Took a couple of goes to get right, but that enables us to hang the intercooler directly off the structure of the vehicle. It's properly supported, it's nice and safe. And yeah, from a fitment point of view, there were some complexities getting it to sit nice, but as you can see here, got a nice gap all the way across, nice spacing, and it's nice and level. So that's a real achievement for this project, is getting that front end sorted, nice and safe and secure, and it's to a level that I feel is quite professional and elegant.
I think it's the one from the Audi. Does not this color, yellow.
Yes. All right, something very exciting just happened and the car just moved under its own power. Doesn't sound very exciting, but the amount of coding and back and forth and reflashing the box off the front plug down here somewhere, and all the injuries to my hand doing so, I'm very glad to see it move. So we've actually managed to, rather than deimmobilizing the gearbox, we've actually adapted it to the car properly. So this car actually accepted the DQ500, which is massive. So what we're doing now is just trying to reassemble the front end, put it back together. Hello. Hi. We do have a number of codes still in the system. Let's see if we can see that. There's a bit of red still there. Oh, that's not a good one. But we are just running through any of the faults that are still remaining. So on the dash here, it's pretty clear now. It was saying safe before, which is I guess a pretty bad code for the instrument cluster, which is the master for the immobilizer. So that's not present anymore, which is really good. But we do have an EPC light when the car runs. We think it might be to do with the alternator. We're not sure yet. and there's a couple of ghost codes in there, so we'll work those out. But yeah, the car is moving, so we're getting ever closer to having a car that will drive under its own power. Very exciting.
Are you recording?
Well, it's an important part of the story, Ben. There's nothing like looking at wiring diagrams on a Friday afternoon, listening to the Pogues,
Just makes it more interesting.
trying to find a part neutral switch. How's that going, by the way?
Yeah, have a look for yourself.
Yeah. Okay, so current situation is an EPC light on the dash, and we've got starter control return message short to ground. So this is probably related to our wiring back to the fuse box, we're not sure, but every other code is clear. The dash is looking really nice at the moment, apart from that EPC which is related to this, so we're not far off once everything's hooked up, being in a really good situation. So we think we found what the issue is with this starter control. Can you show me, Alex? Oh, look. There's a question mark against it, so we didn't do it, and that's why it's doing what it's doing. It's always concerning when the step drill comes out. What are we doing here? In the boot of the car? I think it's battery time. It's just a fuel tank, so yeah, you go ahead and drill, don't go too deep. Oh. I don't like making holes in functional vehicles. Oh well. So we've got GT here, putting the new fuse panel in. Why is it not perpendicular to the side of the car?
So we've got that flow into there without chopping too much.
Okay. So we're just trying to accommodate the wheel well, really, with all the bits we need. And where's the battery going to go?
Battery will sit here.
Yep.
Lithium, so it sits down flat underneath the shelf, so we don't see any of the setup.
So the plan is to have a nice small lithium on its side, so you can do that with the lithiums, next to the foam under the boot floor. So it should be fairly stealthy and light. That's the plan anyway. Say, if you ain't rubbing, you ain't dubbing.